Do you ever find yourself struggling with self doubt? Do you ever find yourself questioning every move you make and wondering if you've made the best move? Or even worse, looking back at things that you've already done in the past, which is a losing battle because you cannot change the past. But you beat yourself up and saying, I wonder if that was the right thing to say. I wonder if that was the right thing to do. Self doubt can be debilitating. It can stop you from forward momentum. It can keep you stuck right where you are because you don't trust yourself to make the best decision in the moment. Today, our training is about 8 myths about self doubt and how you can overcome them. We all deal with doubt, and we're going to deal with these 8 myths because here's the thing about a myth. A myth is something that's widely believed to be true, but that isn't true. But because people believe it's true, it has the power to move you or not move you in a certain direction. So today we're going to break apart self doubt, all the things that people commonly believe about it, and how we can overcome those myths, shift our perspective, and move in a new direction. So let's get right into it. The first myth about self-doubt, and I've got my notes here in front of me, but if you are not taking notes, go ahead and take notes because this is going to be some great content. The first myth about doubt is that doubt or having doubt means that you are not confident. So most people want to be perceived as a confident person. Even if you don't feel like you're confident, most people want to be perceived as confident because confident people are usually perceived better or as more worthy, as more capable. And so we want to be seen as confident. And so when we feel self-doubt, a lot of times we think, well, that means I'm not confident. But that is absolutely not true. Having doubt does not mean that you're not confident. Doubt is actually experienced by everybody, as I mentioned before. Everybody experiences doubt, even the most successful people, even the people that seem like they are the most confident. There's nothing wrong with feeling doubt. That just means that you are questioning and looking for answers. That's all that doubt means. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're confident. You need to reframe doubt as a sign that you are a critical thinker and you are carefully considering your actions, which is actually a very good thing. Critical thinking, I say all the time, is something that has been, as an art that has been widely lost in our society. Kids are not taught how to think, and then they grow up to be adults who don't know how to think, to consider and weigh your options. So being a critical thinker, that is actually a plus. Being willing to say, I don't know everything. Let me test this up against what I already know or what somebody else is sharing with me or what experience has taught me from the past. It's actually a good thing. Preparing and planning is a way that you can help to defeat doubt. The more prepared you are, the less room there is for fear and doubt to hold you back. So developing a plan, there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I tell people always have a plan for what you're doing, but you want to be careful that you don't use planning as a place to hide and as a place to not take action, but definitely gathering the necessary resources and information that you need to make the best decision and take the best action is a good thing. So, and when you have a plan and when you are prepared, that's actually when you operate more confidently. So doubt, instead of indicating that you are not confident, actually puts you on the road to operating more confidently because to counteract your doubt, you will prepare and plan more. For example, to defeat the doubt about whether today's training was going to be great, which I know it is, I had to prepare and plan. That's why I have my notes here. Once I prepared and I planned, I knew this is going to be great. And now I am delivering this content with confidence and without any doubt. But doubt is not an indicator that you are not confident. So that's myth number one. Myth number two is that doubt is always harmful. And again, that is not true. People often believe that when you doubt yourself, that it's a bad thing, that it says something is wrong with you. Going back usually to the first myth about doubt not being or being an indicator that you are not confident. Doubt is not harmful all the time. A certain level of doubt can be healthy and lead to better decision making. Let's face it, if you are leaving somewhere at night and you're alone, it's on a lonely road, and you didn't have any doubt about your safety out there, you might step out there without looking around and being aware of your surroundings and taking safety precautions. A certain amount of doubt is actually great for survival. Doubt gives you time to reflect more deeply and analyze what's going on. Again, you don't want to have analysis paralysis where you are so stuck on, I have to analyze everything, that you don't ever take action. But stopping and thinking more deeply about the options available to you and about your approach is a good thing, because it's going to allow you to produce your best work, to take the best next step in whatever it is that you're looking at. So having doubt about it and saying, I don't know if that's the best option. What other options are out there? Let me analyze what could possibly happen if I go down this particular road. That is a good thing. And that is not always harmful. The harm comes in, again, when you try to overanalyze. And that becomes a place where you cannot move forward because you're considering all these options and you're weighing them over and over in your mind. Give yourself a little bit of time to think more deeply and reflect and analyze without getting stuck there. So again, myth number 2, that doubt is always harmful, is absolutely false. Now, myth number 3 is that you should avoid doubt at all costs. You should always feel 100% sure of yourself and 100% confident and just plow ahead. And that if you don't, or if that you do have doubt, that means that you are on the wrong track. Again, trying to avoid doubt completely can lead to overconfidence and rash decisions. So there's confidence, and then there's overconfidence. You don't want to get stuck in a place of overconfidence. Overconfidence means usually that you're not prepared because you're giving yourself too much credit for being able to wing it. Again, using this training as an example. I can talk about these topics a lot, but in order to deliver them in an organized and succinct fashion, I need to have my notes. I could just jump on here and hit live and just talk. And sometimes I do, but I don't do that often because I don't want to be overly confident about what's going to come to mind in the moment, because I am committed to training with quality. So what examples are in your life of places where you have operated overly confident and ended up making rash decisions? Having a little bit of doubt can slow you down. Learn instead how to manage your doubt. Look for the source. Identify the source of your doubt. Where is it coming from? Is it due to a lack of information? Is it due to past experiences? Is it due to fear of failure, a lack of preparation? What is the source of your doubt? Look at it and figure out what it is. But to say that you should avoid all doubt at all costs, I don't even think that's humanly possible, to never have doubt about things. Doubt just means you're saying, what if and what if not? As long as you don't get stuck in a cycle of what ifs and worst case scenarios, it's okay to visit it right at the beginning so that you can not make rash decisions and be overly confident. Overconfidence often makes people not ask experts for help. It often makes people not do their research, and then they end up making a poor decision. So having a little bit of doubt will help you to make better decisions. Okay, myth number 4. Oh, I love this. I love talking about this one. Is that doubt is a sign of failure. Ooh, doubt is a sign of failure. That is an absolute myth. It does not mean you are failing. First of all, and I always like to say this when I'm talking about failure, is that failure is not failure. It is an opportunity to learn. Reframe your failures as lessons. Instead of saying, I failed or I am a failure, say, this didn't work. What could work better the next time? What could I do differently next time? That is such an empowering place. If I say the words, I am a failure, first of all, I'm taking on the identity of failure. It is almost impossible, if not impossible, to overcome an identity that you keep reinforcing. So you are not a failure. And I wouldn't even say that you have failed. As long as you keep trying again and again, you're not failing because you're continuing to work towards it. You've just said, these are some ways that don't work. And you get to redefine failure in such a way that you always win. You get to decide what failure is. I can decide that the only way I succeed with doing my live training, I'm using myself as an example a lot today because this is on my mind, that doing my live training is only successful if 100 people are on this live training right now instead of none right now. Everybody's going to watch it on the replay instead. If I define success as only if 100 people log on, then in this moment, I have failed. But I don't do it that way. I first of all redefine success. Success is the fact that I'm on here putting out this training content so that whoever needs to see it will have access to it on the internet. So as soon as I hit go live, I have succeeded. And if I did want 100 people to view this video, I could say, what could I do better? Maybe there's something I could do with my marketing. Maybe I could do something different with how I set up the stream so that it starts earlier. Whatever that is, different times of day, different types of content. What can I do differently? But the stream hasn't failed. The only way it fails is if I don't do it. So you can do that in your life. What situation is in your life where you have routinely been telling yourself that you have failed, where you can reframe that and say, here's what success looks like, the fact that I even made an effort. If you just say that your effort is success, then you will always succeed and failure is not even on the table. And then your lessons come from the things that you can do better. Because there's always some room for improvement, but you have to be able to celebrate the fact that you succeed. So reframe your failures as lessons and then redefine success so that you always win. So having doubt is not a sign of failure. That's actually a sign that you are about to step into a new realm. You're trying something new. That you usually don't doubt the things that you're familiar with. So celebrate that when you're having doubt, that means that you are stepping into something new. And the only opportunity is always on the other side of the familiar and the scary, and sometimes the things that we label as failures. That's where your opportunities and successes are, on the other side of that. So if you're experiencing doubt, that means you are leveling up, and that is something that you should be celebrating. So myth number 4, that doubt is a sign of failure, absolutely false. The next myth about doubt is that successful people never doubt themselves. I've alluded to this before. Successful people just doubt themselves all the time. The difference between successful people and their doubt and unsuccessful people and their doubt is that the successful people do not let the doubt stop them. That is so huge. Thinking that confident people or successful people never have moments of fear, never have moments of doubt is absolutely incorrect. They have those moments. They have ways to manage those things, and they move through it. They use positive self-talk. They use visualization. They focus on the outcome that they want and not the outcomes that they don't want. That's the difference. When doubt comes up, they don't let it drown them. They don't fall beneath it and let it consume them and stop them from taking action. I was listening to a podcast earlier today where I can't remember the name of the singer. I don't want to say the wrong name, but it's a popular singer who talks about, unfortunately, the depression that she struggles with and the things that consumed her right before she steps out on stage in front of thousands of people. And through therapy, she learned how to use, words from the Bible, positive self-talk, and some other tactics that she learned from her therapist, how to overcome that self-doubt that was almost debilitating. But the fact that I can tell you she's a popular singer whose name I can't remember, lets you know she still takes action, even though she doubts herself. You have to be willing to push play. You have to be willing to press send. You have to be willing to stick your hand out and say hello. You have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and do the thing anyway. Every successful individual, I'm not even going to say many, every successful person has doubt, but they do the work to move past the doubt. If it's something that they don't know, they go and find out the information. If it's something that they're not sure they're prepared for, they get prepared. Being successful is not the absence of doubt. It's the managing and overcoming of doubt. That's a very different distinction. If you're looking for the absence of fear and doubt, you have a long wait and it will never end. because doubt is not the indication that you're on the wrong path. It just means there's something for you to look at, something for you to work through so you can get on the other side of it and move on to what you want. So successful people definitely doubt themselves. Using mindfulness and relaxation and so many other techniques to overcome the battleground of your mind. I think T.D. Jakes said, your mind is the battleground. Your mind is always the battleground. That's where doubt lives. But you can overcome doubt by replacing those doubtful feelings and thoughts with something that's affirming, with something that is supporting, with something that is affirming. So again, successful people have plenty of doubt. They just go ahead and take action anyway. The next myth number 6, is that doubt is a sign of a lack of faith. So again, especially my fellow believers out here, you're going to resonate with this one, but even people that may not have a spiritual practice or a faith practice, you still have faith. You have faith in things in your life. You have faith in other people. You have faith in certain circumstances in your life. For example, this is going to be a very silly example, but when I sat down in this chair, I had faith that I wasn't going to fall on the floor. I had faith that it would stop me as I moved downward. It was going to stop me. I don't even think about it because I have so much faith in the chair and so many chairs I've sat in before that the chair was going to catch me. Now, are there chairs that break when people sit in them? Yes, but it doesn't happen that often. So enough times a chair has caught me as I've sat down, I have faith in it. We have faith in our cars. We have faith in, some people have faith in, leadership where they work or leader. Let me think of this example. The bank. You trust your bank and the HR department in the personnel department where you work to always deliver your paycheck on time. Very, very rarely is that not followed through on. You get your check on time. You have faith in those things. You go to a bank account and you expect it to be there. So you have faith, whether you see it as a spiritual practice or not. But doubt does not necessarily indicate a lack of faith, whether it's in yourself, others, or in beliefs like we talked about. Doubt can be a natural part of the process of reaffirming and strengthening your convictions. So if you have any beliefs, hear me on this one. If you have any beliefs that cannot stand up to a very heavy level of doubt or scrutiny, then they are not beliefs. It is programming. I'm going to say that again. If you have beliefs that you can't question, that's what doubt is. You're just questioning, whether it's religious beliefs or beliefs in a person, beliefs in yourself. If they can't stand up to some scrutiny, if they can't be questioned, that's programming. That's not a belief. A belief is something that you choose and you've accepted, and you have the choice to not believe it. If you can't question something, it's not belief, it's programming. Okay. When you are trying to strengthen your convictions, the way you strengthen your convictions is by pushing back against them to see if they can stand up. Kind of like when you're in the gym and you're lifting weights. The way you build a muscle is by resistance with those heavy weights. You don't build resistance just lifting your arms, when they're laying down by your side like mine are right now. You don't build strength that way. The same thing is true about your beliefs. So if you think that doubt means you don't have faith in what you say you have faith in, I'm here to tell you that only when you lift the weight, entertain some doubt, and push your beliefs up and your faith up against what if it's not true. That's the only way you can strengthen your convictions. So when you have doubt in yourself, that's not a bad thing. That means you're saying, am I really the person I say I am? Am I really capable? Let's go see. Hold my drink, as they say. I'm ready to take it to the next level. Hold on, I'm about to do something. But you have to question it, or why would you ever change? It's in the questioning and looking for something else or something more that we make the changes that we need to make. So doubt is not the lack of faith. It's actually a reaffirming and strengthening of those convictions. The next myth is that if you doubt, then you shouldn't proceed. This is a big one. If you feel that fear, that means you're not supposed to be doing it. I guess I'm not supposed to be doing it. And I'm using it. Sometimes I've said fear I'm talking about doubt, but fear and doubt are kissing cousins. They go hand in hand. But if you have doubt, then you shouldn't proceed in whatever it is an absolute myth. Doubt can actually coexist with action, and it actually should. You can take action anyway. It is possible to move forward with decisions and actions, even when you have some doubt. Because what that does is it gives you a playground to test some things out. You can mull certain things over in your head over and over and over forever, but you will never know for sure. In other words, the opposite of doubt is being certain until you do it. So I can question whether I might doubt whether I can stay up on my bicycle. I might think I might fall. I'm not sure. Can I stay up? Can I be safe? Will I be safe out on my streets? Will having a helmet, will that even matter? Can I safely ride my bicycle? I can think about it all I want to, but I'm not going to build any certainty until I go out on the bike, put the helmet on and go. If I do fall over, okay, I've learned that maybe I need a little bit more practice. Maybe I do need a different helmet. Maybe I need a different bicycle, whatever that is. But I can't keep thinking about it and doubting. You have to take action anyway. And we're going to get down to the end and talk about what does doubt have to do with your purpose? Because I know you see Pinpoint Your Purpose Challenge here on the screen. But doubt and action taking can go together. And they should go together. Set realistic goals, break them down into the larger task, into smaller tasks, and just start taking baby steps. If you have doubt about whether you can, let's say, write a book, maybe that's something that you want to do, but you're not sure if you can do it. You'll never know until you actually attempt it. Maybe you start out by writing a social media post if that's not something that you do, or writing an entire article. Then move up and write, build it out into a chapter, or write a very small ebook that only has 4 or 5 pages. Write an essay, write a blog post, Start small, break it up. And then if you're ready to attack the book, say, I'm going to write 10 chapters. I'm going to write a chapter every week. I'm going to write 3 paragraphs every day. Break it up and then just go. So you're not looking at, I don't know if I can write this whole book, to just saying, I can write 3 paragraphs. I can write 3 sentences, whatever you break that down to be. But take action, right? Breaking those larger tasks, that's a tactic or a strategy that you can use to overcome that self-doubt, is to take action, but break it down into tiny steps that are manageable. Set realistic goals. Don't set the goal so far out that it's not inspiring, but don't make it such a pressure cooker that you actually are paralyzed with fear and doubt that you can do it. Okay. And then our final and 8th myth about doubt is that doubt is permanent. I'm here to tell you, I've been alive many decades, and what I can tell you is that nothing is permanent. Everything changes. Everything shifts. Everything evolves. Doubt is no different. It is not a permanent state. It is a temporary state, and it's going to be based on your situation, right? If you use the right strategy, some of which we've talked about in this training, and if you get the right support, meaning the people around you, whether it's people in your circle, your larger community, mentors, even a professional, a therapist, if you get the right support, you can overcome or significantly reduce doubt. And the greatest way to overcome doubt is to just go ahead and take action anyway. Just tell yourself, feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the doubt and do it anyway. Face your fears gradually. Gradually expose yourself to what you fear in small, controlled steps. That's going to desensitize you to that fear and doubt over time. We're talking about ways that you can overcome doubt. It's not permanent. It's temporary. And you're going to find that when you just go ahead and say doubt is normal and I can expect it, it's an expected part of expanding into something great, then you don't have to fear it. Then you don't have to feel bad about it. And then you don't have to think it's going to be permanent. Also, we talked about learning from failures. Remember, though, I told you we reframed failure as lessons. So we're going to call it learning lessons, right? There is no such thing as failure. You just learn a bunch of different ways not to do it. Like was the inventor Thomas Edison said about, I think he tried 10,000 different ways to do a light bulb before he invented the beautiful light bulbs that we enjoy today. He tried 10,000 ways. How many ways have you tried before you gave up? Have you even tried? Right? So doubt is not permanent, it's temporary, and it will start to dissolve once you start taking action. So you hear me in my trainings and my talks a lot talking about purpose and pursuing your life's purpose. First of all, finding out what it is. What is your life's assignment? What were you made to do? What are you meant to accomplish in this life? What is the impact you're meant to make? Whose lives are you supposed to change with your unique zone of genius? And then to fine tune it and figure out what specific paths you're supposed to follow. Because there's lots of ways you can fulfill the same purpose, right? You can have a purpose that you're to model a life of confidence, authenticity, adventure, wellness, and freedom, and empower others to do the same. That's my purpose. But I can do it many different ways, by being an author, by being a speaker, by being a mindset coach, by being an event producer. There's so many ways I can do my purpose, and I do those things. So then after you found out what your purpose is and you fine-tuned it by figuring out which paths you're going to follow, then you have to fulfill it. And because you're in a space right now where you're not fulfilling your purpose, it's going to be something new. It's going to be something unfamiliar, stepping into your purpose. And that's where doubt is going to come in. Doubt will come in. Am I supposed to do this? Am I going to be able to survive? Can I make money if I do this? Am I going to be able to am I enough of an expert? Am I an imposter? Am I good enough? And it goes on and on and on. That's where the self-talk comes in. That's where the taking action comes in. That's where the breaking it down into small steps comes in. That's where having a good support system comes in. And so many of the other strategies that we've talked about today to overcoming doubt. But then it also is important to be a part of a community of like-minded people whenever you are stepping into something new. And so that's why I want to invite you to join the Pinpoint Your Purpose Challenge at pinpointyourpurposechallenge.com. It's a 4-day lunch and learn that I do. And right now I'm doing it complimentary, not even doing, you have to register for it, but there are not any tickets that you have to purchase. To sign up and bring your notebook and be prepared to watch your life change. Who is this for? It's for anybody who is tired of feeling defeated by life, tired of drifting through life, tired of being disappointed, or feeling like, what is the purpose? What am I doing with my life? Is this all there is? Is just trading hours for dollars and transferring money from my employer to my bill collectors and doing it over and over? What is the point? I want to have some meaning to my life, the dash in my life between my birth date and my death date. I want to make my obituary must read, right? Let's face it, we're all going out of here in a box, right? An obituary will be read over you. What is it going to say that will be true about you? So if you are a person who wants to make that dash in between your birth date and your death date count, if you want to finally do the thing that you love, maybe you already know what your purpose is, but you don't know how to actually pursue it, or you have no idea how to figure out what your purpose is, or you might be one of those people that don't even know, why does that matter? Why does purpose matter? You need to be in this 4-day challenge. So go to pinpointyourpurposechallenge.com, get signed up, share the link with your friends and family, because you want to be a part of a community of people that is moving towards meaning, moving towards mastery in your life. And I want to help you get there. So pinpointyourpurposechallenge.com. When you get out there, the date has just passed. That means we are currently doing a class. You can sign up for the next date. I look forward to meeting you and helping you to move ever closer to fulfilling your life's purpose. I am Coach MJ, and I'll see you next time.